Hey everyone, Rick here, and folks, today I'm gonna give this cooking thing a try. And no, I'm not pouring a bowl of cereal or trying to make a milkshake. No, this time is for real. I picked up a box of pasta. Penne pasta. I've never once boiled water in my entire life. So we're gonna give this a shot, see how this goes, and we'll keep you updated. So step one, I assume, is going to be to dust off the stovetop. Now, I can't tell you how many times the stovetop has been used because it's probably in the single digits and only once by me, and that was a fluke. So, all right, so we have that all dusted off. I'm a little intimidated by some of these controls. As you can see, there's a lot of circles on here, and a lot of, and I know the glare is awful, but as you can see, it does have kind of a neat diagram of evidently which one of these each knob goes to. But then some of these have small circles and a big circle, and I assume that corresponds to small burner or large burner. Now over here there are three knobs, something called the warming zone. Now that just sounds frightening, but I assume we're going to avoid the warming zone and evidently use one of these. Which one of the other four do I use? I have no clue. Your guess is as good as mine. Now this box of pasta actually does have instructions on it. It says al dente in 11 to 12 minutes. It specifically says 11 minutes. And for more tender pasta, boil it for an extra minute. I think that's probably what I'm going to try to go for because I like my pasta super tender. I don't know, that seems like a weird way to describe pasta, but yeah, I just don't like a lot of resistance. When my teeth come in contact with the pasta, I don't want any resistance there. I want to sink my teeth into some penne. Believe it or not, I do have some pots and pans because my parents got me a set. I think it's kind of a housewarming gift, and they've just kind of been in this cupboard. And I feel like this pot is probably the one to go with, though this is obviously not the right lid. Just a small pot, I assume. Now, here's where I'm already going to have to look up something. Oh my god, that is definitely not the right lid. That's too small of a lid. Maybe it's... Is it this one? There we go. Now I'm going to have to figure out, first of all, I guess whichever burner is the right size. Like that looks really good right there, right? The small burner on that one? Or should I do the large burner on this one? I have no idea. But first things first, I have to ask, because I don't want anything to explode. Hey Google, do you leave the lid on when boiling or take it off?
On the website saltsearsavor.com, they say, boiling water happens faster when you cover your pot. There's less
Ah.
energy loss. Keeping the lid on raises the temperature of the water faster. To find
Okay.
out
All
more,
right.
look for the link in your Google Home or Google
That's,
Assistant app.
I mean, look at these cookies. Oh my gosh, I should just stick to eating these. Okay. I was half paying attention because I kind of was distracted by these. I think it said that it boils faster when I put this lid on. But here's the other issue. This says, first of all, bring 4 to 6 quarts of water. I'm sorry, but what in the world? How do you figure out what a quart is? First of all, my measuring cup, because I do have a measuring cup somewhere, my measuring cup is just that, it's cups. So now I'm going to have to figure out what a quart is. But the other issue that I have is I assume that is to make this entire box. I don't want to make anywhere near this entire box. I just want like a fourth of a box. Like how much is this? This is 8 servings per container. So I actually only want like half of a quarter of a box, an eighth of a box. So I don't know how much water that is. Okay, I put this much water in here. It looks less than it is. There's a decent amount of water in there. You can't overwater pasta, right? Or can you? So I'm thinking I'm going to go with the smaller burner over here. So, like it says here, smaller burner. I know the glare is just absolutely abysmal on this thing. There you go. Now here's my problem. Now what do it? Okay, so evidently I push this in. And now I go over here. Oh, I can feel the heat already. Oh my God. So do I put it on high? Now see, this is where I'm freaking out because this just turned bright red. Oh my gosh. That actually feels really good. So I'm going to put this on here and see what ends up happening. Oh, I probably should be supervised for this. Should I put some salt in here? They say a watched pot never boils, right? So let's see what happens when we put some salt in here. Okay, I put some salt in here. I put the lid on. It's on high. Oh my gosh, this is really actually very scary. And people, oh my God. I think a droplet of water touched the thing and it started to sizzle or something. Whew. And people do this all the time? Good grief. Now, my big concern is, what do you turn the temperature down to upon it starting to boil? And believe me, if I see a single bubble, I'm going to freak out and run the other way. Well, here's the other issue. It's starting to fog up in there, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I should take the lid off. I don't know. Should I leave the lid on or take it off? I want to take it off so I have good vision as to what's going on here. I'm probably going to put in whatever a single serving of this pasta is. It says bring it to a boil, add salt. Well, I've already added the salt. Add the pasta to the water, stirring occasionally. Oh, God. When they're vague with descriptions like occasionally, what the hell does that mean? Oh my gosh, it is starting to like steam and smoke. I feel like I'm putting more pasta in here than I was anticipating. This seems like a lot, because these noodles are probably going to expand, aren't they? Okay, folks, we have action in the water. Oh my gosh, it is starting to bubble any second now, right? Is this going to start like actually bubbling up or what? Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Now I guess my question is, what is considered boiling? Is this now boiling? I can see the bubbles on the bottom of the pot going absolutely crazy, but there's just very small ones coming to the surface. So is this boiling right now? Is this what we consider boiling? Okay, we have some surface boiling going on. So I'm going to add the pasta. I feel like that was a decent amount of water for the amount of pasta that we put in here. I do have some wooden spoons because I know they say you're not supposed to use metal on this kind of cookware. But see, now here's my question. It is now boiling, right? This is considered boiling. It wants me to cook this for 11 to 12 minutes. At this kind of a boil where it's bubbling like this, or do I turn it down now? Because it says boil it for 11 to 12 minutes, but I have no idea. And I guess it says stir occasionally, not constantly, so I'll probably end up boiling this wooden spoon. Because it's really going to town with these bubbles now. Can I turn this down to like a medium? And you can hear it. Well, I feel like that was turning it down too much. Because, or is that still good? I have no idea. I turned it down about halfway. This is going to be very interesting. So my question is, and I know this is going to sound really stupid. You want to boil this pasta. Should I turn this up a little bit now? I'm going to turn it back up to like 6. Maybe should I do 7 or 8? Because it doesn't, I don't want it to, um, like bubble over, right? Or do I want it that bubbly waterness? I'm not even looking at the time. All right, we'll be back. Okay, so I settled on like a 7. Um, the water still is somewhat bubbly. Because I mean, like when you put it on high, you're just bringing it to a boil, right? And then you still want the water super hot to cook the pasta, but you don't want it boiling over, which is why you lower the temperature a bit. I'm just worried that, my timing's going to be off. As you can see, it is still bubbling. It's at a level 7 out of 10. Um, but while that's going on, we have some other things to do. So I got this can of peas and carrots. I wanted to toss that with the pasta. So I assume I have to cook this separately. And then when that's done, we'll put them together. And I also got this Bertolli creamy basil alfredo sauce. Again, this is the first time I've bought any of this stuff. I even bought this little colander. This is a tiny colander. This is a tiny little plastic colander. I'm worried that this is not even gonna work. I think it should work, right? Hopefully this plastic is heat resistant plastic. Once I got home, I looked at the tag and it said great for fruits and vegetables, and I'm like, oh God. So I'm hoping that'll work for the pasta. All right, so I just popped open the lid on our can of peas and carrots. It said to empty the contents of this can into a bowl and microwave it. Um, the other thing is, I'm not going to need all these peas and carrots. I should have invited someone else over to eat this with me, because this little bit of pasta doesn't need all these peas and carrots. All right, I'm going to put a lid over this and we'll be back. Okay, so I just microwaved the peas and carrots, just took them out, poured a portion of the Alfredo sauce in the bowl. We're about to microwave that. We are still stirring the pasta. As you can see, the pennes have grown. It's almost like those foam toys you submerge in water and they expand. So I pulled one of those out to get a feel for it. It's getting there. It is getting to the consistency we want it to be in. But look at this. This colander is going to be like the perfect size to drain these peas and carrots. I'm very happy about that. Okay, I feel like we are just about ready. I just taste tested another penne noodle. It was very delicious. We've drained the peas and carrots. We're just sticking the sauce in here for a little bit. Then we're going to we are going to get the colander its second trial run at this pasta. Pour the pasta in the bowl. We're going to mix in some of the peas and carrots and then get the sauce involved. Okay, the sauce is out of the microwave. I think you can kind of maybe see it kind of steaming there. Steaming hot sauce. We are basically ready to go. I'm going to drain the pasta. I just want to give this one last test to see if this, I know these are so hot, oh my gosh, to see if this is as soft as I want it to be. I want this pasta to be melt in my mouth soft. Okay, we have officially taken the pasta off of the heat. It is of a consistency that I'm comfortable with. It took longer to get to that consistency than I was anticipating. I think I may have turned it down too low. I think a 7 was too low. So toward the end there, I bumped it back up to an 8. So note to myself, once it reaches a boil, just turn it down a little bit. Don't turn it down a whole bunch, because I want these pasta noodles to be like melt in your mouth pasta noodles. All right, time to drain them into the bowl. Okay, our tender penne pasta. I'm just going to pour in some of these peas and carrots. give this a little bit of a mix, and then I'll be ready for the sauce. Okay, we mix that up. Now time for the sauce. And don't worry, I am going to eat the rest of those peas and carrots too. Okay, folks, this is our final product, our penne alfredo with peas and carrots. Time to dive in. All right, taste test time. Let's get some of this. Let me get some peas and carrots on here too. All right, without spilling. Okay, here we go. You can kind of see the steam coming off of that still. Kind of. Oh my gosh. Folks, that is so good. Let me get another bite. I did notice that the portion, I don't know, from this angle it doesn't look that big. Folks, this is a meal. Oh my gosh, I learned that looks can be deceiving with the dry pasta. All right, here we go. A little goes a long way. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. All right, I am going to finish this. I'm going to devour this. I'm going to do things to this that I can't explain on video. This is so delicious. I'm just glad that one of these cooking vlogs actually went well. I know probably a lot of you in the beginning were like, oh my God, this is going to turn out so bad. And honestly, I was right there with you. This was the first time I've ever boiled water. This is the first time that I've done anything like this on the stovetop. I was like, I don't know what to turn the temp down to use the lid or not. All these just basic things, but oh my gosh, so good. All right, folks, thank you all so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And until next time.